Michael, thanks for joining us again. I know you've got training after this. So, with a very quick turnaround after the game on Saturday, I'm assuming that training will be limited to maybe just a light session and shape and review of Saturday.
Yeah, we obviously had the players in yesterday, which is, there's a big focus on recovery. And then the players that didn't start do a little bit more to keep themselves ticking over. And today will be a light session, as you rightly say, in terms of how we see the game tomorrow night, what type of, what the team that we'll go with, set pieces. And again, making sure that the players, have it in their legs tomorrow night, because again, I think we'll face that type of game tomorrow where, the ball will come forward quickly. There'll be a lot of second ball duels in the game as well, and we have to be ready to deal with that. Preston have been strong at home this season. They're clearly difficult to beat. They've probably had a couple more draws than they would have liked, but equally, as I say, it's always a tough game up there.
Well, as you say, Preston will be disappointed that they only took a point at Birmingham and they kept a clean sheet. And in fact, they're unbeaten in 8 if you count the cup games. They tend to play a long ball and a long throw, but you'll have to be ready for everything, won't you?
Yeah, look, teams in this league and how they play you have to deal with that. We faced that already this season and dealt with it well. The key for us is to maintain how we want to play in the game. If I think so far we've been consistent in that. At times we've been dragged into games that ideally we would prefer. We had a little bit more possession at times, a little bit more control in the game. Sometimes that's difficult. The opposition help play a big factor in that as well. But yeah, look, we'll be ready for the game tomorrow night. It's a 3-game week. 3 games in 6 days is very demanding. But we come into off the back of 2 good results in terms of the cup and obviously the result on Saturday. And we want to make sure that we try and take 3 points again tomorrow.
You said you'd look at these 3 games as a package because they are so demanding. You think you might have to freshen up again after the win, when you stated that you weren't happy with some aspects of the performance, although other aspects you were delighted with?
Yeah, look, I think there is an element of you have to look at your squad and who can come in and give you a little bit of freshness and what minutes the players have played. We've basically, I think, had 3-game weeks pretty much since the start of the season with progressing in the cup. You lose that opportunity to maybe have a bit of freshness. You look at Hull, for example, didn't have a cup game, and I think possibly that aided them in terms of how they could play in the game on Saturday. We have the opportunity, possibly, whether we freshen the team up because we think it's physical or tactical. We look at that situation. So it won't. The changes won't necessarily be linked to individual performances. They'll be linked with what we feel will be the right starting 11 to try and obviously go there, compete, and try and win the game.
Well, obviously Tommy Smith's available for selection, but there were 1 or 2 knocks on Saturday. How are we on the injury front?
Well, we'll see whether Harry can train today. He's been with the medical team all morning. Mario, similar, but I think we should be okay. And we don't really anticipate any of the ones who have missed Saturday being available just yet. Fletcher was with the medical team today out on the grass, so hopefully that's the start of him making progress. Fox is longer term. Tyrese and Tashan will play tonight in the under 23 game rather, and I'll be here to see that. So that'll be good for me to see Tyrese with my own eyes. I haven't been able to do that in the opening 2 games he's played because they've been obviously away in Middlesbrough and Newcastle. And Tommy Smith, as you're right to say, comes back after suspension. So look, we've got bodies, we've got cover to deal with. If Harry's not available, we obviously have cover in our squad to deal with that.
And how far away from full fitness is Joe Allen?
Well, I'll see again today. We're a little bit optimistic that he may have been available for the game tomorrow night, but he did a little bit at the weekend and still felt a little bit of pain. So it's quite a delicate area. Whereas then, in his toe where he's pushing off a lot, and so we just maybe had to step back from that. At best, obviously his involvement will be on Friday night.
And lastly, from me, you've mentioned the under-23s tonight. You must be delighted that it's a sellout, a full capacity for the game at Clayton Wood tonight.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that, to be honest. So
you'll get in, Michael.
All right, okay. There'll be a lot of people at the fence then. Look, it's good. You know, the most important thing is you know, for the two lads, in particular, that are coming back from a long-term injury, but also for me to get to see those lads that are playing in the 23s. We've got a number of those younger players out on loan who we're monitoring closely, but you know, the likes of Adam Porter, Tom Sparrow, for example, Dan Malone, young David Akagbu's showing a lot of promise, young Lou Macari. So, you know, often you see these young players when they come up to train with you, and sometimes you're bringing them up because you want to have a look at them, but also they're there to serve a purpose for what you're trying to get in terms of preparation for the team. And so it's nice to see them playing competitive games. And so I'm looking forward to watching that game tonight.